you're going to be taken to, this is our home site, and you're going to log in through our client login page right up here at the top where it says client login. That will take you to the customer login page. This is where you're going to use your password, and in my case, I've got Creative Dining set up as an example for us. And the very first time you log in, you're going to be asked to enter in the temporary password that we gave you. And you're going to click the sign in button, which is going to take you to the password change required field. In the old password, you're going to type in that temporary one that we gave you, and then you're going to type in a new one. The new passwords have to have at least one letter, one number, and one of the special characters, and be at least 8 characters long. Once you've done that, you're going to hit Save Password. It's going to tell me that it's been updated successfully, and I'm going to be logged in. The first time you log in, you're going to be asked to go through user certifications. You're also going to be asked to do user certifications once a year, every year, going forward. So permissible purpose, you're going to assign your name here, indicating that you are only going to run background screens on folks that you have permissible purpose and that your organization is supposed to be running them on. You're not going to do them on your friends and family or your daughter's boyfriend. And that if you're going to take adverse action against somebody, you're going to follow FCRA procedures. You can type your name in both of those locations, hit the submit, and then it's going to log you directly into our platform. So it's registering my submission of those, letting me know that, okay, that all matches, that lines up, he's the right person, and then it's going to take me over to the applications page. You're also going to, I'm going to walk you through the top here. The dashboard is where you're going to be able to make notifications to your own information, to your email address, or to you're going to see our client advisories here. So we were closed, or many of the courthouses were closed yesterday for President's Day. Mardi Gras is happening today, so all the courts in Louisiana are closed today. So we're able to see those kinds of things, all of those messages. And then user preferences is where you determine if you want to receive a notification or an email when your report's completed. You'd click there, and then that's my email address, and then I'm going to save email configuration. So now whenever a report's completed, I'm going to get an email at my email address. If I want to view reports, and it's still running there for me. Do this. If I want to look at reports, I would look at this page, and it's going to give me the reports that I've recently run. If I'm interested in looking at my bill, I'm going to be able to hit the Your Bill tab, and then it's going to take me to the billing page. I've got this thing going a few too many things. Recording is making it run a little slow right now.
Are we going to get a copy of all of this?
Yes, you will. We'll have it available for you in a PDF.
Because there's no way I could take this down. Right? You're
right.
Very fast.
So on your applications page, well, on the reports page, you can see that we've already run several different individuals. And by default, that reports page is going to display those applicants that you've submitted within the last 7 days. If you want to display people that you've requested longer than that, using this drop-down box, you can custom select how far back you want that to be displayed. And of course, now it just took me over to my applications page for me. During the application process, you're going to have the option of running 3 different packages. Criminal only, which is only going to run the CrimTrack 7-year all-county, which tells you that it's going to run address history based on the Social Security number, and a multi-state criminal national sex offender search. You have the option of doing the E-Verify only, which is only going to run employment eligibility verification, or you can run both of them together, criminal and E-Verify. If this is going to be an applicant that you're also going to want to run a drug screen on, you can scroll down right here to the drug screen, add that. It's going to ask you, this will add the selected service to the application. Are you sure you want to continue? Okay. And now you'll see over here on the additional product side that I've added a drug screen to this report. So now we're going to start with the applicant's email address. And I'm just going to put in mine. Normally that would be your applicant's email address. If you're doing a drug screen, that's where the chain of custody form is going to be sent to, is to the applicant's email address. And you're going to do, okay.
Hey, I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Is that, so you're saying that if we put their email address in there, their drug screen's going to go to their email address?
The drug screen chain of custody form, not the results of the drug screen, but the chain of custody form that they need to submit to the drug screening location to tell them who they are and what drug screen needs to be completed.
Got it.
Steve, if that is left blank, is it set that the drug screen form comes to the requester's email?
Yes, it would. That would be where it would go as well. Or if you want that sent, if you as an individual location do not want that sent to the applicant's email address, we can set that up as well, and that way any other communication based on FCRA regulations could be sent to the applicant's email address, but all drug screen requests would be sent just to the requester. We can customize that by location as well.
How long does it typically take for that drug screen custody control form to get to that email?
Typically within about an hour to 2 hours, we can have that generated and sent over.
Okay. So there is a little delay. It's not something that's instant or within just a few minutes.
There's a manual touch that's required in that, because when we do that, we're going to look at the location or the applicant's address to determine which drug screening location is best for that individual. Some of our locations have selected to have it sent, have that that testing location based on their address. Others have said, no, we want it based on the applicant's address. So there's a manual touch and a manual process that has to be included in that, based on that own individual, location selection, and then to determine what that location is.
Okay.
So we're going to
Sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
couldn't hear you.
Would there ever be because we always require once they come in to do this, that they have 24 hours to do the drug test. Is there ever going to be a problem with that?
The only time I can imagine that there would be a problem is if you enter a drug screen request on a Friday, and the location that's selected would not be open on Saturday and Sunday. So if that's the case that you're going to require them to test within 24 hours, we'll need to know that for your location and make sure that the locations that we select have Saturday hours or Sunday hours to accommodate that 24-hour timeline.
Okay, thank you.
Is that just a phone call to the client care service then?
Yes, we can take that, or you can direct that through Bev, either one, however you guys want to handle that. In fact, we can handle that after this call once we've stopped the recording, and we can go ahead and I can handle that offline for you. So we're going to type in the applicant's first name here, middle name, and their last name. And I'm just tabbing directly through the application. and I can tab and select, or I can use the drop down. While those are not required fields, they are often beneficial fields in the inclusion or exclusion of records that return back to us, the sex and the race. Social Security number, we're going to enter in, and it needs to be the same in both fields. If I don't type it the same, it tells me that they don't match. I can go back and I can make the correction. If by chance you have an international student that you still want to run criminal on, and they do not have a Social Security number, entering all 9s in this field will bypass that requirement. Under the date of birth, we can enter in just straight, just type in 2/18, and I'm choosing 1990. And you just hit tab and it automatically formats that for you. Estimated salary is an optional field if you want to pick that, whatever that's going to be. Then the applicant's physical address. So we're going to enter that in. There's no unit number or anything, so we're going to bypass that. And I'm tabbing straight through. You do not have to type in the city and the state. You just type in the zip code and hit tab, and it's going to automatically populate the city and the state for you based on the zip code and the address within that zip. And because we've chosen the package right up here that's criminal and E-Verify, we're going to enter in the information here, 02/17/2015. They are a U.S. citizen. Saw their Social Security number, 234567889. Their driver's license information. So we're going to choose Oklahoma. Expiration date, 02/18/2018. And then we're going to hit the next, now that we've entered in all the information. Excuse me. And now you are not done yet. All this is your confirmation page. Once you've entered that information in, you're going to confirm that that's the email's address. This is their first name, their middle name or middle initial, their last name, their Social Security number, their date of birth, salary, their address, the E-Verify information, and then we're going to go ahead and hit the submit button. Now we know that that report has actually been submitted. So we're going to go to the Get Reports. And here you're going to be able to view the fact that we've submitted that report. And then these are the other reports that we've submitted within the last 7 days. Again, if you want to change that and you want to view reports that are older than 7 days, you would just choose here, hit the refresh button, and it's going to give us all the reports that were requested within the last 90 days. Now we've gone and we've added a few extra reports. Now we're up to 33. You can also search for an applicant by their last name or their first name. So we're going to be able to search for all applicants with the first name of John. We're going to find that we've got 3 of those. Terry. Oh, we didn't have a Terry. I thought we did. You can also search by Social Security number. Now I know that I've entered at least one with that Social Security number. Well, make that 2. First, last, the one from the initial call. Then if you want to clear that and you want to go back to everything, you would simply delete that, refresh the list, and then it's going to give you back to your all the applications that you've entered.
Each location will only see their own reports.
That is correct. You will only see the reports that you've requested. We're looking at right now at everybody's because we're logged into the parent account here. If you have more than one user assigned to, that's using the account at your location, you're going to see different names here. You can also sort this field by requester by clicking on the requester field, and it's going to give us alphabetize this list based on those user IDs. We could also do it by applicant. Any of these up at the top are sortable for you. But by default, when we go back to the reports, it's going to sort them by the requested date. It's going to give you the completed date. Oh, and I notice somebody's using the company code here. That's up to you. You can use those within your own location if you choose.
I've had questions on that.
All right.
It's really just an informational area for if you want to put any kind of note there. There's
That's
no
exactly right.
actual company code that anybody needs to use.
There is not. The purpose behind that varies from company to company. Some of our customers use that based on their location. Like, I guess an example for within y'all's use of our system would be that if you're using the system if you're running screens for people in different locations, maybe they're working in catering, or maybe they're working in the cafe or in the cafeteria, and you wanted to sort that, what you would do is you could use cafe, food service, catering, convention center, whatever locations you may have, if that's where you're looking to assign them. That will help you in your sorting process. Does anybody have a question at this point?
So in other words, we don't have job descriptions anymore with them, or codes?
Bev, I think that's I'm not familiar with what you were using before.
No. You're going to be logging in under your own location code, so you don't have to put in any additional codes.
Okay.
Okay.
Fairly simple, fairly straightforward. You've got two pages that you're primarily going to be using, the applications page and then the reporting page, the reports page. In the reports page, one of the other options, if you ever need to go back and look historically at applications, because this only goes back the last 90 days for you, if you do go back into the archived reports, this will give you the reports that are older than 90 days. And by default, this is going to give us reports that were 91 to 180 days, and we can sort that and customize that field to whatever you want. Once you've got more than 90 days of screening history with us, if you needed to access an old report, you do it right here under the archived reports. If you need to contact us, if you have a question, you can always do that. We are at our toll-free number. Or you can always click on the Contact Us, and our toll-free number is going to be right here. Or you can fill out a form, and that'll submit a web ticket for us, and one of our customer service reps will email back the answer to you, if you prefer to do it that way rather than call. Or if you're doing it after hours, our office hours and our customer service hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. So if you want to send us a ticket over the weekend, you're trying to do something first thing in the morning on Monday, someone will get back to you. Sometimes occasionally we may have one of our customer service reps that logs in, or I may log in over the weekend if I'm working, and I may be able to get a response back or reset a password for you, whatever is necessary. You can reset your password on your own. If you don't have access to, if you don't remember your username or your password, and you click on the I can't access my account, it'll walk you through that process. How can we help you? I forgot my password. Then next, my user ID. It's creative dining. It's going to tell me what email address they have that we have recorded with that's assigned to that. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to hit next. And now an email has been sent to me with a password reset process. And there's my user ID, and then I'm going to be able to follow the password, reset my password process in order to accommodate that if you forget your password over the weekend or we're not available after hours. And I'm going to have to use that link in order to get back in. So we're going to walk right through that process. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Are there any other questions? Right now we're still recording, so if you have a question that we want to put on the recording, otherwise I'll take it off the recording and then we can just answer free-flowing questions at this point.
Can you show the billing information? Or just
Yes,
at least kind of talk about that.
All right.
Yeah, and I have a question to go along with that. Do we receive a bill like via email, or do we have to go in each time and collect our bills from your site?
We're actually going to mail you a bill to your location every month. We bill on the first business day of the month. So any reports that you run this month in February, we're going to send out a statement on the 2nd of March.
Thank you.
You will also be able to see it on the website if you log in.
Yes.
So let me understand this. So if I have a new employee and I'm putting all the data in and I get the reports and everything, how does it get to Creative Dining, to payroll over there? How does it get over to you?
Once you have your reports complete, you will save and print it, and you will put that in the employee's confidential file. When you run the E-Verify, just like it did with our former service, Kroll, down at the bottom, there's the case number from the E-Verify system. That is what you put in our payroll system.
Okay, and there's a place in Benepay to put that?
Yes, there is.
Since I only hire like one person every couple of years, you know, it's not like something I do on a regular basis.
Right.
And I'm serious.
Right.
So, you know, it's like Bev's had to walk this through with me a few times because I don't hire.
Because every time you do it, it's new, right?
Yeah, it's like, I'm serious,
Oh,
like every couple of years.
Right. When you click on a report, and I'll do this, I'll walk you through this as well. When you click on, and I'm going to click on not an actual person's report, but I'm going to click on the one that I used at the sample here. This is going to allow you to see the results of the report. This is going to be your name, your location's name is going to be here. Your username is going to be here. It was requested on the 5th at 10:12. It was completed on the 5th at 1:47. This is the information that you presented to us. First, middle, last name, or middle initial, the date of birth, the social security number, with the first 5 being redacted for security purposes, the address, and then the email, and then each one of the components within the report. If you continue to scroll down, there was a county criminal out of Tulsa that was ordered on here. The broad screen, which is the multi-state criminal, the national sex offender, Office of Foreign Asset Control, and government watch lists, and then the SSN track. Now, because I entered in a dummy SSN, I don't have any address history reported here. If you want to print this, what you would do is up here at the top in the upper left-hand corner, you'd hit the Save Print button. And in Firefox, it's going to ask you, how do you want to open it? You're going to open it with Adobe. I happen to have Adobe 9, so it's going to open that up for me. And then there's my report. Here you're in Adobe Acrobat Reader or Adobe Acrobat, and you're going to use your print functionality within Adobe in order to print this to your local printer. And when you're done, you can close that. I think it was made mention to the decisions if you wanted to, if you were using decisions. Here are your adverse action letters. So if you're not going to hire that person, you give them a free adverse action letter by clicking here, and then you hit the Generate button. And it's going to open up and it's going to create a letter for you that you're going to be able to include with a copy of the report and the summary of rights so that they know and they have a reasonable amount of time to make any corrections or find out why things were reported on their consumer report that may or may not be accurate.
Is that summary of rights on the website there too? Or does it print with it?
It does not print with it at this time. You would need to print that off separately, and I can distribute that through Bev to you if you don't already have a copy of that from your uses before. We can get you a copy of that as well. So then once that's done, you'll be able to hit your back to reports, and it's going to take you back to the report listing where you were. We were also available as the Your Bill tab. Within the Your Bill tab, you're going to be able to generate and see each one of your statements each month. This will be your company, and then this will be going down February of 2015, March of 2015, etc., as those statements are generated. Electronically, statements are generally available the second business day of the month after we've generated them on the first. Once that's, you can either view them or preview them here online, or if you hit the print save, it'll open up as a PDF for you. Unfortunately, we don't have address history or billing history within the account yet because we haven't billed through the first month. If I were to take one of these accounts, like this is our parent account, Your Bill, you're going to see that these are the months that we have activity. I select January of 2015, and that's the activity that was reflected in January 2015. And then it's going to show us that statement in a screen view here in this section, or I can print it by choosing to create a PDF of the account of the statement. So here's what you would be seeing. It's going to give you a listing of all the different applicants that you ran, the report, the package you chose, and then the cost. Are there any other questions that I can answer at this time?
Could you just touch base on the symbols and the legend?
I sure can. Let's stick right here. You'll notice out to the left, there's a status. These are the clock that's round is a pending report. There occasionally you're gonna see where there's a report that's gonna have a square clock, and that's gonna be pending a verifying report. That means that we are in the process of verifying that information. In fact, let me go in and I can make that happen for us. Creative dining. Pending verification. There we go. Now you're going to see that. So it's in the, in other words, a possible record has been returned, and we're verifying that information at the local source. Once a report's completed, it displays, initially it's going to display as a, do we have any in here? I don't think we will. As a sheet of as a folder with a sheet of paper coming out, and then once you've opened it, it's going to show us just the folder. You can always review a report before it's completed by simply clicking on the name, and it's going to tell you what's happening within each one of those components. See, I changed the county criminal to pending verification. The drug screen's been assigned. I can get the partial report, and it's going to give me the information until that's available in the partial report until it's completed. Once everything is completed,
On the completed reports, the little green plus sign, does that mean they added drug screen to it?
that means they added a service to it. That's correct.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and refresh, and there it is. It's got an added, if we even just hover over it, you're going to see that we added a county and a drug screen to it. Now, because I've opened it, it doesn't show as the flag because I've already opened it.
Steve, what would be the option for somebody if they had to send somebody for a second drug screen?
If we needed to
that
send it
possible,
for a
or-
second one, it is. What we would
Okay.
do is we would open up the report again, just in the
Mhm.
screen view. And we would add services in the upper left-hand corner. Use drug screen. Add. Yes, I'm sure I want to do that. And then submit. And now it's going to go ahead and show. So now we're going to go back to the reports.
Okay. I say that because once in a while you'll get a diluted sample or something
Exactly.
that comes back.
Something that didn't work. And now that's back to a pending status again. It's no longer complete. It's back to pending, and now we have two drug screens. The first one was completed unverified, and now we have a new one. Excuse me.
So with the current setup, in order to run the drug screen, it has to be attached to an existing report?
It does. That's the initial
Okay.
way that we've got that set up.
Okay.
Now, Bev, do we need to set that up differently?
Well, I'm thinking about some other scenarios that could come up where
Okay.
it could be an independent request.
Mhm. And we can set that up so that it's just an independent request and it's not part of the part, that doesn't, it's not dependent upon a package.
Mhm. Okay.
That is
We can talk about that separately.
easily possible. We can. Any other questions at this time? Anything that you need to have kind of recapped?
Are there any additional, like, written instructions anywhere? Manual
There are.
type things?
I'll be able to get, there's a PDF document that walks you through the password reset, and then the order that I'm customizing to you guys and your packages and your information that you have. And I'll be able to
Okay.
send you that.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
Yep. All right. At this point, then, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. It's good. We actually